friends, welcome to my humble homestead and garden side chat. Today I want to make some chicken gravy dinner in a jar. I'm getting some chicken gravy meal in a jar up on my shelf. This is super great for an easy convenience meal. It makes so many different things. You can make easy chicken dumplings. You can just have chicken gravy over rice or noodles. You can make an easy chicken soup. We don't thicken it in the jar because we can it, and we don't like to add thickener when we can it. But it thickens in a couple of minutes. It's just the easiest thing. So what I'm doing right now is I washed my veggies. I had a couple things, and then I went and got some carrot. My carrots were still really small, so I had some organic carrots left over, and then I got as much celery as I could get out of my garden. My celery is still pretty small. So I think I have maybe 2 cups of celery here, and then I'm gonna do my carrots, some onions, and some potato. And I don't have a lot of potato, which is fine because I don't like to use a lot of starch anyway. And then I have some chicken that I'm gonna dice up into bite-sized pieces. So I'm gonna do all of that, prep it, put it in this bowl, and then when I get to that, I'm gonna show you how I will can that in my pressure canner. So I'm using my chopper, and I'm gonna get this prepped, and then I will see you back here, and I'll show you how I can it. It's super simple, and it's gonna make some really easy meals for this winter, especially if you don't have a lot of time to cook, and you just wanna make a home-cooked, easy, delicious meal. So I will see you shortly. So the original recipe, I will link the recipe below. It comes out of the Ball canning book. The original recipe calls for 1 cup of onion, 1 cup of carrots. So I'm gonna see how much I have. I took out 6 jars. I have a feeling I'm probably only going to be able to do 4, but let's see. I was originally going to try to do 3 cups of each, but let's see. I know I only got 2. Ooh, I think maybe I can. Yeah, this is 3 cups of carrots. So I did only get 2 cups of celery. So what I might do is just add a little bit of my dehydrated celery in there to make up for the difference. So I did get 3 cups of carrots. And only other thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add 1 clove of garlic in here, just because I like garlic and everything. The recipe does not call for that, so that's the only thing. And it did not call for carrots. I put carrots in there just because I like carrots in my chicken soups and chicken things. So actually that will make up the difference for the 1 cup of celery. So I'm not gonna add any more celery. So I am going to triple this recipe and use 6 quart jars. The recipe here says 2 quart jars, but you know what? Since I'm pressure canning, I like to fill my canner up. So I'm gonna do 6, and then I'll get the stuff prepped up, and I will be back shortly and show you how I get it in the canner, and we will see you soon. Okay, welcome back. So I have all of my ingredients here in this big bowl, fresh. I used boneless, skinless chicken breasts, which I actually just cut up. Some of them are sticking together. Cut up into bite-sized pieces. And then I have my potatoes, carrots, onions, and celery. And I did put a little garlic in here. So to this, I am going to add a teaspoon of salt. So remember, I tripled it, so I'm going to do 3. 1, 2, 3 teaspoons of salt. Same with pepper. You can do it to your taste though too, but I like lots, so I'll just do. And then it says poultry seasoning. So I actually have some poultry season. So I'm going to do a tablespoon of this. 1, 2, 3. Now, one thing it does say is for white wine. And if you don't have white wine, it does need some acid, so you can use some vinegar. But I heard that the white wine does make a difference. So I have the white wine that I made with my whey. I'm not really a fan of it for drinking, but it does have a real winey taste. So I am going to add that in here. It says 4 tablespoons, so I'm putting 1/4 of a cup in. And I am going to mix all of this up. And then this is cold packed, so we don't cook the chicken. It's going to pressure can for 90 minutes. So I'm doing quarts, so it will pressure can for 90 minutes. And I am going to top off with chicken broth. I'm going to cover whatever's not covered just with chicken broth. Now I'm just going to cover it so there's just up to the rim here, because this chicken is going to give us its own juices too. So when it cooks and pressure cans in here, it's going to be so delicious and juicy. And then in the future, I'll show you some pictures of some meals you can do with this, but I will show you how easy it is to cook meals with these. So I'm just going to get this all good and mixed up, and then I am going to pack these in the jars and then follow proper canning protocol, which will be to debubble it, wipe off the rims to make sure there's nothing in there, and I will top it off with the juice. And then I will put it in my pressure canner. I'm going to bring it up to, in my zone, it's 10 pounds of pressure. And then once it comes up to 10 pounds of pressure, I will start my timer. And then I will pressure can it for 90 minutes. And then once the timer goes off, I will let it come all the way down to 0. I'm going to wait another 10 minutes. Then I'll take the weight off. I'll wait another 10 minutes. And then I will take the lid off and we will see what we have. All right, so I'm just going to get these packed into these jars here. I mean, it's not really going to be the prettiest, but it sure is going to be one of the most delicious things. So I will certainly show you. And if you have a pressure, now with non-acid and meats, you want to pressure can it. You don't want to water bath can it. I mean, I know some people think differently, and whatever you want to think, that's fine. But for me, I am going to pressure can it. Let's get this mixed up, and it's so easy with the raw packing too. So I got 4 quarts and 1 pint in there. Not too bad. Now I'm gonna put the top on and bring it up to a nice steam before I put my weight on there. Hello friends, so here is what I got out of our chicken gravy in a jar. I got 4 quarts and a pint. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to take one of these quarts and I am going to show you how we can use these in meals. So I'm going to open one of these and I'm going to bring it over to the stove and we are going to make supper tonight. The first thing we could do is we could certainly just open it and heat and eat it. It's delicious that way. Right now, I'm just going to go ahead and bring it on over to the stove, get set up over there, and I will show you some other options we have. See you in a minute. Okay, friends, so here we are. I am going to open up my jar here. Nice seal there. And I am just going to go ahead and empty it out into a pan. It smells so good. All of those flavors and seasonings that we have in here. So now you can just heat it and eat it this way. If you want to have it just with the dinner, you can put it over some noodles, egg noodles, or some rice. You can also thicken it. So we're going to make it into a gravy. Now, I actually want to make it a little bit more brothy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about a cup more of broth and put it into my jar, and then I'm going to mix it. You can mix it with either 4 tablespoons of flour or arrowroot. Try to open up my broth here. There we go. So I'm going to take about half of that broth. There we go. Just because I want to have some more broth. And we want to do this cold. So I'm just going to put my thickener in here. Like I said, if you want to use flour, you can use that. That works fine. Or like arrowroot, or that works as well. So I'm just going to mix it up in here. And now you don't have to add more broth. If you don't care if you have enough broth, you can certainly just do it right in here. But the key is that you don't want to heat it up yet. You want to get the thickener all mixed in really good so you get all the lumps out. So you want to get it all mixed up here really good. I'm going to pour it in here. So once we know it's all mixed in there really good, then I'm going to turn the heat on here. And I'm just going to bring this to a nice simmer. And I'm going to let it simmer for about 5 minutes. And once it simmers, it's going to thicken up really well. Now, once this thickens up, I am actually going to quickly make some dumplings together. Now, you can have this just as the chicken and gravy, and you can pour this over egg noodles. You can pour it over rice. You can actually add a whole nother quart of chicken broth to it, and you can pour in a bunch of egg noodles and just have some wonderful creamy chicken and noodle soup. That's another way to have it. So that's 3 or 4 different ways. But what I want to do is I want to make some chicken and dumplings. So I'm going to get some herb dumplings going while this is thickening up. So let's get on over to the counter over here, and we'll make some dumplings. We'll get some dumplings going real here. Okay, so right here in my bowl, I have 2 cups of flour. So you can use whatever flour you have. Sometimes I mill my own. This is organic white flour. I did get some of that because I am going to try to make some chocolate chip cookies out of my sourdough. So I did get a little bit. So I'm going to make these with some organic white flour. I am going on vacation soon, so trying to kind of acclimate my system a little bit to eating some regular foods. When I get back from vacation, I am going to go on a cleanse or a kind of an anti-inflammatory diet. But right now I'm just trying to ease in some foods because when I go on vacation, I'm going to eat a lot of regular foods on vacation. So we're going to do 2 cups of flour. To that, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And then 1 teaspoon salt. And we'll do 1 teaspoon of pepper. And then 1 tablespoon of fresh or 1 teaspoon of dried thyme. And then I'm just going to mix or whisk that up there. And then I'm going to make a well in the middle. And in the middle, I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of milk. And 4 tablespoons of melted butter. And then I'm just going to mix this up here. And this is going to be our dumpling mix. So now I'm going to head back over to our chicken and gravy dinner. And I am going to show you how we can just mix this in to our chicken gravy in a jar mixture and turn these into some super easy dumplings. Look at how quick and easy this is, just thickening up just like this. We have a thick chicken and gravy in under 5 minutes. Just take a tablespoon at a time and drop the dumplings in and put these dumpling mixtures in here. Some people like them perfectly shaped. I don't really mind if they're not. If you don't like them crowded, you can always take the rest of the dumpling mixture and make biscuits out of them. I like a lot of dumplings in there, so I'm just gonna fill up the spaces that I see. I'm going to cover it. I cannot find my lid for this, so I'm going to cover it the best I can, and I'm going to let it reduce it from the heat and let it cook covered for about 10 minutes, and then I will show you what it looks like. See you in a bit. All right, let's take a peek and see what it looks like here. Ooh, look at that. Chicken dumplings in under 10 minutes. Let's give it a taste test here. All right, everybody, let's give it a taste test. Our chicken and dumpling that we made so quickly. Let's see here. So good. Oh my goodness, you guys. It is such a yummy, homey meal. Give it a thumbs up, like and a share. If you guys want to see more easy meals in jars, let me know. Let me know what you guys put in jars, put up on your shelves. What kinds of meal preps do you do? What do you like to have for easy, fast, quick meals? Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Be blessed. Bon appetit. Bye.